Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Tailgate Talk. We're your hosts, David and Nick. Nick, say hi to the people.
What's up?
We're joined with our good friend Joe. Mr. Joe, say hi to the people.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Yep. So we're going to continue on with our Bull Mania picks. Right now, we are currently watching as Western Kentucky is kicking the living snot out of South Alabama, who we all picked. So we're all thriving right now. But
Lovely.
without further ado, these are our picks so far. As you can see, your boy has jumped out to commanding 11-1, about to be 11-2 record. With Nick close behind at 8-4 and Joe at 7-5. But Nick, with his confidence points, able to get the early lead uh, with me in second,
Sure.
and then Joe not too far behind. So Nick, why don't you start us off with your first pick?
Yeah, so this one, Air Force and Baylor, Baylor 6-6, Air Force 9-3. Um, it just came down to I feel like Air Force, they earned that record for a reason. I think that Baylor, while they are a great team, or not a great team, but they're a good team, I feel like Air Force just will run the ball, and I think that they're gonna come out. But give me 8 confidence points on this one. Not too confident on it, but I do think Air Force gets this win.
Yeah, for me, give me Baylor. Baylor has been through this is going to be the theme of the night, and I'll say it for a lot of the Big 12 teams that we have on the slate tonight. But Big 12 has been up and down all year. It has been a knockout after knockout fight. It was kind of like the Big East in basketball the last few years. There's the talent of teams in that league is going to be a resistance training for a United States Service Academy. I love watching service academies, and I'm thankful for everything that they do. But I mean, they're not as competitive in college sports because a lot of guys don't want to go there, and have to worry about serving 4 years or what have you. So I will take Baylor, who has been through it in the Big 12 and kind of had that resistance training.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it at the stats wise, Baylor averaging 33 points a game, giving up 26. Air Force averaging 27, giving up 13. So Air Force clearly, with their option offense, ground and pound, uh, play tough defense. I think that the Big 12 offense is going to be just a little bit too much for them. So I'm going with the Bears. Next up, we've got the Louisiana Raging Cajuns, one of my favorite mascots, going up against Houston and the Cougars. Nick, who you got in the Independence Bowl?
Well, I have Houston, but the main point I want to get across is that this game is going to go over. Uh, both teams have non-existent defenses. Houston's defense gives up 430 yards a game. It's just, I mean, Louisiana has a good defense at just under 23 points per game let up, but I just feel like it's going to be a shootout. So give me Houston in a high scoring affair. I just think that they behind Clayton Tune's 37 touchdowns, I feel like he's going to get them rolling. So give me the Cougars.
Yeah, for me, give me the Raging Cajuns. I don't really have a beat on this game. I have not watched any Houston football game this year, and I have not watched any Raging Cajuns this year. But something told me, God reached down and told me to take the Raging Cajuns. So, as an Notre Dame fan, I did that, and I will take the Raging Cajuns with 14 confidence points here. Give me the upset here.
You go with Houston, uh, just because I got a feeling. Right now, I feel like I just got to go with my gut. 11-2. My only loss is looking like it's going to be, South Alabama and Jackson State. So I'm just going to keep rolling with my gut until my gut's wrong, and I'm going to go with Houston here.
And Jackson State should have won that game, period. So
Yeah, it's a shame. It's until tonight, I was really upset about that because that was my only blemish on my record. But we'll roll with it. We'll see how it goes. Next up, we've got Wake Forest and Mizzou in the Gasparilla Bowl. Looks like we've all got Wake Forest. Nick, why?
Well, I'm very happy that I have the least confidence points on the line here. I think Joe, do you have 40 confidence points on this game?
Yeah.
I I'm I don't know, just Mizzou stuck around with Georgia. They beat Arkansas. They beat South Carolina, who, as much as I hate to say it, looks like a good win. They stuck around with Kentucky. They also got killed by Tennessee. So you don't really know what Missouri is going to show up. They have won 3 of their last 5. So and you look at Wake, they're 1-4 in their last 5. Just something about, I just feel like Wake Forest is a better team. I don't think Sam Hartman's playing, but I just feel like their receiving core is legit. I wouldn't be surprised if Mizzou wins this one, but I'm going with Wake.
Yeah, for me, it just comes down to the fact that Mizzou is kind of the bottom of the SEC, and they, even though they've won 3 of their last 5, every Saturday we look up, or every Sunday we look up, and it looks like they're getting beat on by the SEC, which is probably the most talented conference in the country. But I mean, Wake Forest has been the last 3 to 5 years kind of the second best team, arguably in the ACC. So just based on that alone, I'll take Wake. Yeah, Sam Hartman may not be playing, but they're still well coached. They still have a lot of talent perennially, and I think a lot of the guys who are playing, again, I'm not an ACC beat guy, but a lot of the guys who are playing that are older are probably going to want to go out on top, um, especially since you don't hear about a lot of guys coming from Wake Forest into the NFL. So they're going to want to finish their career out on a strong note. So give me Wake Forest 40 confidence points here. Missouri just does it doesn't really Missouri doesn't really show me a lot of hope in general. Like when I think of Missouri football, I'm like, oh, Missouri football. When I think of Wake Forest, I'm like, oh, Wake Forest, pretty good program. So
Interesting analysis.
yeah, of course. That's what they pay me the big bucks for. That's what you guys pay me for.
I like Dave Clawson. I'm going with Wake Forest. I like Wake Forest's team. I'm pretty confident. I'm throwing 39 points on there. We'll see what happens.
39.
Little
Okay.
You're a Clemson fan. You're a Clemson fan. You got even though they're Clemson's, I guess, competent or conference rival, you got to take your in conference people here.
Yeah, I just
Not
do I
even that.
root
Like here's the thing. I don't even there are a couple picks I've got here where I don't go the ACC route, and it's strictly because I just don't think they're going to win. Um, but with Wake Forest, I think Wake Forest is just the better team. I
That's
think they're
what I
better
think.
coached.
Yeah.
do I
So
root for
it's simple. The analysis is simple, Nick. That's why we're confident in it. I don't know if I've heard if Sam Hartman has opted out or not,
Yeah, I'll look.
but if he does play, then I my confidence is right there at 39. If he doesn't, then I probably want to drop it down a couple, but I'm rolling with it. Like I said, I'm going with my gut. My gut says put Wake high. So
I think he is playing.
I think his receiver
A.T. Perry.
yeah, I think he opted out. But other than that, I think that
Yeah,
Sam's playing.
Sam Hartman said no shot. I will not be playing in the bowl game. I will
You
be.
got Sam Hartman playing. I'm let take give me some Sam Hartman. He's going out on a high note. Dude's an all is a baller. So let me go with Sam Hartman.
Dude had a
Of
heart
course, I
condition
am
and came back
billion.
three games later. So yeah, give me that. Give me that kid.
Do I low key root for Mizzou here just to mess you guys up with how much confidence points you're putting down?
You're lucky that I already used my top pick on OSU versus Florida. Otherwise, I would have had this game at 43.
You got the 43 points for that though.
What did I
You
put? I
got
put
lucky. You still got it.
That's the
All
only
right,
reason I'm
moving
still
on.
in this.
Moving on. We got Middle Tennessee State versus San Diego State. Nick, why is Joe wrong?
I just feel like San Diego State's defense is going to be the difference here. Middle Tennessee State gives up more yards per game than they gain themselves. So I just feel like I can trust San Diego State's defense more. So give me the Aztecs.
Yeah, I'm a
Joe,
big
why is Nick wrong?
I'm a big offensive kind of guy. Offense wins championships. Their offensive, even though their defense is not so hot right now, their offensive uh, calling and offensive playing is off the charts. So give me their offense to beat San Diego State's defense. Plus, they beat Miami this year. I mean, that's not really much of a calling card, but I'll take Middle Tennessee here.
San Diego State Aztecs. They've got some sweet uniforms in the past. That's where I'm rolling with them. So I'm going with the Aztecs. Next up, we got New Mexico State versus Bowling Green. We're all chalk here with Bowling Green. Me, the least confident. Nick, Joe, you guys want to chime in here?
I
Yeah,
just
go ahead, Nick.
go ahead. Go ahead.
For me, Bowling Green, they're perennially playing big teams out of conference, and just during the season. So I think they'll fare well again in this game.
I just think that Bowling Green playing in the MAC, they beat Toledo, which was the MAC champion, so that's resume boosting. New Mexico State did beat Liberty, but I just feel like Toledo's better than Liberty at this point. I think that wasn't that the bowl game matchup?
Yeah, they won
Yeah,
Toledo
20.
won,
Toledo
right?
won.
Yeah, there you go. So give me Bowling Green.
Come on, man.
That
You
worked out
picked
perfectly.
Toledo.
Those rocket chips, they're a pain in my you know what.
The rocket chips. Oh man.
All right. Next up, we've got Georgia Southern Buffalo. Again, I don't know. I just put down 4 points, and I'm just gonna keep rolling with it. So Nick and Joe, why are you guys so confident? You're in the middle portion of the confidence points here.
For me, it's I think App State was a much better team than the record and season kind of showed it to be. And Georgia Southern beating App to kind of it's beating a rival in double overtime to kind of get to the bowl game. I feel like that's gonna be very, very inspiring for this team. So I just think Georgia Southern's gonna use their passing game to just destroy Buffalo. Maybe not destroy, but I think they're gonna win.
Yeah, for me, it just comes down to the fact that I always see Georgia Southern playing the SEC in the beginning of the year. And when I watch, it's like they do have talent. Like you can see the talent radiate through the TV. I mean, it's not like Alabama talent, but it's Georgia Southern talent. It's pretty good for that school, a school that you don't think would have a lot of talent. So based on talent alone, I mean, I think they have more talent than Buffalo. So that's basically what it comes down to. Give me Georgia Southern because of their talent.
Next up, we've got Memphis, Utah State. Memphis is a constant team that I think is pretty good. And I like them a little bit more in Utah State in this case. Nick, Joe, what do you guys think?
Yeah, for me, Memphis, just another team that you always look up at the end of the year, and they're finishing strong. Utah State hasn't really been relevant since Jordan Love, who was there, 3 years ago now. So give me Memphis here. Give me Memphis to probably run the rock, throw the rock all around. It's going to be quite the offensive performance from Memphis here.
Utah State averages 23.3 points per game scored. They give up on average 30.6. Anytime a team is more than a touchdown worse on defense, I can't pick them in good faith. So give me Memphis.
Oh, look out. Oh. South Alabama, big play on the move.
Yeah,
Trying to score
they just
before
had a pick.
halftime.
They just had a pick in the end zone where the guy OBJ'd it. So
It's over, guys. It's not
So hey,
happening.
I may be 12-1 tonight. Who knows? We'll find out. Next up, we've got the Shots versus the Pirates of East Carolina. Joe, you're the only Chanticleer, and you're pretty confident. What's going on there?
yeah, so this was kind of a game time decision when I sent my picks to you today. I was gonna take ECU actually. The only thing that it comes down to is that Grayson McCall he's playing his bowl game. If Grayson McCall wasn't playing, even though Coastal's a pretty talented team for a small school, I would have taken ECU 10 times out of 10. But because Grayson McCall, who is probably going to be an SEC quarterback next year, either for Auburn or one of those middle of the pack teams, I think Grayson McCall is going to go out on a strong note with those Chanticleer fans. So give me Coastal here, and give me Coastal with a lot of confidence, actually.
I just think that and Coastal's last 2 times out, they've gotten blown out both times. One to James Madison, one to Troy.
Yeah, but
Uh,
it's not like hold on, I'm just gonna step in real quick. I know I don't mean to step on your take, but it's not like ECU is
Oh,
like
you're
a
doing it. You're doing it.
I know. I'm so sorry, Nick. But like it's not like ECU is like a team to write home about. Like ECU has been kind of not relevant the past few years. I mean, they have some talent this year, but nothing to like Coastal has had. I mean, yeah, Coastal hasn't looked great the past few weeks, but go ahead. Sorry, Nick.
ECU is a kicker away from beating number 13 ranked NC State when NC State was legitimately good from winning that game. They lost in double overtime to Navy. So that's another game that was one possession.
Yeah, a
They
Navy team who runs the triple option and the dive in the ISO formation. They run like 3 plays. They lost to Army by in overtime.
I'm just saying that the losses that ECU has, NC State 1 point game, should have won it. Navy, double overtime game, could have won that one. Then they got blown out by Houston and Tulane, but then Cincinnati, they only lost by 2 at Cincinnati. I feel like ECU is quietly a solid team. And I just think that I just can't get that image out of my head of Coastal getting killed 2 weeks in a row. So I got to go with ECU here. That's my thinking.
Coastal's burned me twice recently. I'm not picking him again. So I'm going with ECU. I'm clearly not confident. I think that's kind of where we're at. I think that, we want to believe that Coastal's the better team, but the way that they played the last couple of weeks, it just hasn't been up to par. So that's why I think Nick and I are a little bit more leaning the other way. Whereas, we've got good old Joe here double downing. So
Triple downing.
triple downing.
I'm a sucker for pain.
All right, we'll move on. Wisconsin, Oklahoma State. Chalk again for us. Man, this is getting boring, guys. Come on. Tell me what's going on with this game. What do we gotta look out for?
For me,
Oh,
OSU, they're led by Mike Gundy. They're a good team. Honestly, there's no reason that they shouldn't have won the Big 12. We obviously talked about all season how great TCU has been and what a magical story that was. But like in the beginning of the season, it was OSU and TCU, and they were both 6-0 when they played. So it was like, all right, those are the two top dogs in the Big 12, and a Big 12 that has been competitive and throwing their weight around is one of the better conferences this year. For me, they're still a great team. They still have a lot of talent. I keep using that word. Wisconsin doesn't. They have a new head coach. They don't really have any identity, I feel like. I don't even know if Braylon Allen is playing in this game, because I know that he said that he was playing for Jim Leonard, and Jim Leonard's gone. So he might be sitting out for all I know. I mean, he might also be playing, but still, just it seems like Wisconsin has a lot of things to figure out, and OSU kind of has those things already figured out. So give me OSU. Give me OSU with 31 confidence points for me. That's what it comes down to.
see, I was more confident in Oklahoma State, and then I just looked at their last 5, and they're 1-4.
Yeah, not great,
Um,
not great their last 5, but I still think that they're just a better team and a better conference, and Wisconsin still has a lot of things to figure out. Like they don't, I don't even know if Luke Fickle's coaching this game or not,
he's
because I
not.
think Jim Leonard is already gone, so I don't know who's coaching this team. For all I know, like so a water boy could be coaching Wisconsin. I'm not really sure, but I mean, at the end of the day, give me Mike Gundy, give me OSU. They're a program who's been, you know, perennially in the top 25. Yeah, they're 1-4 in their last 5, but they're playing in a Big 10 or a Big 12. Like I said, that has been a really tough gauntlet to run through this year.
I agree. I do think that Oklahoma State's offense will kind of carry them over Wisconsin. I don't have any faith in Wisconsin offense. Um, Especially with their starting quarterback Graham Mertz now moving on to, I believe he went to Florida. But it's just this one is a little, it's like an ick game for me because Wisconsin's favored, but I still feel like Oklahoma State's a better team. So I don't know. I don't like this game. I can't get a read on it, but I'm gonna roll with the Pokes. like you said,
Hey,
Mike Gundy and the coaching staff being intact kind of gives me a little more confidence in them than Wisconsin.
and this is my last thing. Graham Mertz has been like his first game, he lit it up of his career, and everyone was like, "Oh, Graham Mertz for Heisman." Graham Mertz has been nowhere to be found ever since. There's an APB out for Graham Mertz, the 5-star Heisman winner quarterback. Like no one has heard from him. I mean, he's had a few average games here and there, but if you look at his career, there's literally nothing to write home about. He has a few average games. He has his great first game that he ever played, and that's because no one had any film on him yet. And so give me OSU.
I don't think we're disagreeing with you at all, Joe. I think that, for sure, when you've got all that turnover going on with Wisconsin, just the way their season's gone, not a whole lot of confidence given for them. Oklahoma State, the 1-4 record in the last 5 games, concerning to me as well, but I still think that they're the better team, so I'm going to go with Oklahoma State here. Um, Next game we got is UCF versus Duke. I just want to put in right there. I love the job that Mike Elko's done at Duke this year. Fantastic. Fantastic turnout. Huge, huge, huge that they're already in a bowl game. I don't think anyone expected that. Um, so Duke, I think, is running on a high, and that's why I'm looking for them to get the job done against UCF this time around.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to echo that point. Listen, Mike Elko has been probably one of the top 3 hires this year for a Duke program that had very little hope going into the past few years. He has really turned that ship around. I thought it was going to be more like a cruise ship turning around, where it was going to have to go psh, 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 and then like turn around, and it would take like 4 hours to do. Now he did it in like a snap of the fingers. So just based on Mike Elko's job that he's done this year and his track record this year, give me Duke and give me them confidently.
I think this is going to be one of the best games of the bowl season. I think they're evenly matched teams. I think that they're both exciting offenses, defenses that can kind of shut people down. You look at the stats, the defenses are almost identical, and the offenses are both over 420 yards. UCF's pushing 500 yards a game. So I think that it'll be, like I said, one of the best games. I feel like they're evenly matched. I could see it going either way, which is why my confidence points are a little lower than y'all's, but definitely feel like what David said was true. Mike Elko, arguably, I don't know if did they already give out Coach of the Year in the ACC?
Yeah, I don't think he got it.
I would have given it to him, but yeah, I think I'm excited for this one. I think it'll be fun to watch.
Next up, we've got the battle of the Kansas teams. We've got Arkansas, or Arkansas as everyone else calls them, versus Kansas. Nick, who you got here?
Well, I think Arkansas. If you see this, I hate this because Jalen Daniels can't play because he's hurt. I think if he was playing, I think Kansas would win this one easy. I also think that they'd probably be in a better bowl because he's still leading the team in passing yards, even though he got hurt very early in the season. Um, Arkansas, they've been there before. Sam Pittman's got that experience. I just think they're, as of right now, they're the better team. So I think they're gonna kind of come in and take care of business. So give me the Razorbacks.
Yeah, for me, it just comes down to kind of the same thing about Mike Elko when it comes to Duke. I mean, their coach has done a phenomenal job this year. Yeah, their quarterback's not playing, and he was a key integral part to why they were successful in the beginning of the year. But give me Kansas. I mean, Sam Pittman has not been saying the right things in my opinion. I feel like he is just kind of relying on talent alone to win games, and I think Kansas is going to give them a fight. Listen, I don't know if Kansas wins, and I could lose 22 points right here, but give me Kansas. I kind of want them to beat Arkansas just to put Sam Pittman out of his misery and get fired. So
Yeah. I mean, I agree with Nick 100% when it comes to Jalen Daniels makes Kansas a different team. I think since he's been out, they've struggled mightily on offense. Um, so for me, Arkansas just I think has the better matchup in this case, and so I'm going to go with the Razorbacks. Next up, we've got Oregon UNC. UNC coming off of a brutal loss to Clemson in the AC championship game. Oregon just missing out on a chance to play for the Pac-12 championship game. Looks like we're all pretty high on the Ducks and Bo Nix. Nick, give us your thoughts.
Well, UNC's kind of fallen apart. Wheels kind of fell off the wagon towards the end of the year. Like you said, lost to Clemson pretty big, double overtime loss to NC State, and losing to Georgia Tech at home. I mean, plus their entire secondary, I feel like, transferred. None of them are going to be playing. Josh Downs opted out. He's going to the draft. If it weren't for, I'll tease that the pick I have at 40, like my 43 confidence points, is going to be like, I'm surprised they're even playing against each other. I'm surprised that was who they ended up like putting in that bowl. But I very strongly considered making Oregon over North Carolina like my highest lock. So give me the Ducks. I think Mac Brown's going to get run out of San Diego.
Yeah, just Oregon as a whole program is on the upswing. They stole 2 recruits from Notre Dame today, 2 5-stars. Bo Nix is back. He's coming back for like a 10th year now. Next year, I think he's going to want to roll in on a high note to next year. This team was pretty good this year in a tough Pac-12. UNC has kind of been down, which I know a lot of teams that I've taken have kind of not been great the last 5 games or so. So I'm kind of going against my ways here. But give me Oregon. Give me Oregon handedly. Like I already chose my 42 and 41st pick or 41 confidence points. But yeah, give me Oregon here. The Ducks are gonna quack their way through this thing. So
Yeah, I mean, you look at UNC losing their last 3 games, Oregon losing to Oregon State and Washington in their 2 of their last 5. So both teams not 100% coming in, but I just like the way that with Oregon, I just like Bo Nix a little bit more in this case. I think that it's just a better situation with who they've got still playing. There's just so much going on with the transfer portal for UNC that I think that they're kind of reeling a little bit, especially with the last 3 games. I think Oregon's just going to put up points on that defense. All
also
right.
on a side note, real quick before we start the next game, why does it look like Southern Alabama's jerseys look like they got it from Michael's on a Christmas on sale going out of business store? Like their jerseys are horrendous.
Because they might have.
I think they might have. Those are the worst jerseys I've ever seen. They literally look like they should belong in like a German football league.
Tell you what, though, the amount of calls that have happened in the last 10 seconds of this half, giving Western Kentucky like 5 chances to try and score, it's unreal. Anyway, Texas Tech, Ole Miss. We all got Ole Miss. God damn, guys, we're getting bored here. Like, where's the fun? Where's the intrigue? I want you guys picking wrong, so I look smart in the end. Now it's just chalk going for it.
I'm picking against you guys. I got the 2 Vavona brothers going against me here.
You got like
This is not.
yeah, but you're 7-5 with 79 points. You're not my issue right now.
Yikes!
Should have been like me. Should have put more confidence points on the line.
Should have.
This game, Ole Miss has a better offense. They have a better defense. I know they're scuffling, but when you dominate both, or not dominate, but when you have the better group on both sides of the ball, I think you're going to win the game. So give me Ole Miss.
Yeah, Ole Miss, simple here. The Lane Train. They're more talented than Texas Tech. Listen, I know people in Lubbock are high on Joey McGuire. He's shown some bright spots. He's shown some low spots this year, but listen, they're not Ole Miss caliber yet, in my opinion. And I don't think that this is going to be one of his bright spots. I think he might have used up all his magic against his his earlier wins this year. Again, I don't have the schedule up in front of me, but I know he's had some bright spots. I don't think this is going to be one of them. I think this is going to be a stain on his record here.
Yep, I'm going with Ole Miss here. Plain and simple. Well, that's all the picks we've got this week. We'll give you guys some basketball picks for the not really the weekend, but like the week right after Christmas. Seems like college basketball taking off for Christmas. NBA is going to dominate for that, so we'll get you guys a couple of like Tuesday and Wednesday games to look at for that. But great couple of games coming up. Tune in. Watch me try and pull away from these two knuckleheads with my record, and we'll
Aren't we
see what goes
tied?
on. What?
Aren't we all tied?
I'm talking about Bowl Mania.
Oh, you
Yeah,
brought up
we're all
basketball
tied
time.
up in the I'm pulling away. I'm trying to pull away here. Stupid South Alabama giving me no help.
Are we
Whatever.
doing it based on records or are we doing it based on confidence points?
I don't know, both.
Okay.
It's
Because
bragging rights to have the best record, but also bragging rights to say that you had the best confidence plan. I don't know. Who cares?
Whoever
Whatever. Anyway, go Tigers. I'm done.
whoever loses has to caddy the winner in golf.
ooh, brutal. Before we end, quick shout out. The Mets are back, baby. Carlos Correa, welcome to the squad. I've had a great day on Twitter. It was amazing.
Yeah, Santa delivered quite the present, and by Santa I mean Steve Cohen. So we're happy.
Yeah, did you see the text from Boris? He said Correa miss came early or something like that. Like it was cringe, but it was like, geez, I cannot
Yeah,
believe
yeah,
that.
because I mean they canceled this. It's pretty unclear, but what I was reading today was they basically canceled his press conference, and he was in a hotel in the same hotel with
Yep.
Steve Cohen, and he was like Scott Boras texted him was like, "Hey, you have like 2 minutes to figure this out," and he just threw money at him. He was like it was like that fan of cash that they have in that one commercial where it was just blowing into Correa's room. He was like, "Yeah, I'll take it." So we
Steve
literally,
Cohen was eating dinner and sipping martinis in Hawaii and dishing out 315 mil.
I
What a
mean,
guy.
at the end of the day, I know we only have a few minutes left, but to end on like a conversating note, right? It's like for the longest time, the Mets were penny pinchers and did not spend money on anybody, and we felt like all the bad luck was headed our direction. And then to see that we stole him literally in the middle of the night last night from San Francisco was hilarious. So
Let's go.
it was like if this is a complete turnaround, and for everyone's complaining, oh, how is he going to pay $111 million in luxury tax? I'll tell you, he has like billions of dollars 10 times over again. 400 and something $1 million is like $20 for us. I don't think it's really affecting his bank account.
Nope.
So I can't wait.
Shohei, you're next.
I can't wait
All
for
I'm gonna say is, as a Yankees fan who's seen
Ooh.
the money just get paid and paid and paid for players year in year, just hope it works.
Listen, we don't have to worry about. We got rid of our glass pitcher, and you guys have now a glass left fielder. So hopefully he can hit 62 bombs again and get you to the same place you were last year. Very unlikely though. So we'll see what happens there.
Still losing to the
See, if they
Astros.
keep giving us the medium juice balls, we might be able to do it. Who knows?
Well, I mean,
And
he got if you give Pete the juice balls that he hit for 62 this year, Pete might
Pete's
hit.
going Yabo 70 times with those balls.
Yeah, he's gonna hit 80. Okay, we don't need no giant in left field. We have the polar bear sitting on first, waiting for you to throw some juice balls down the pipe.
Ooh, baby. Bring me to baseball
I think
season.
that's a good stopping point. Thanks, guys. Go Tigers.
Go
Go
Tigers.
Irish, go
Let's
Pirates.
go, Mets.
Let's go Mets.